Donald Trump is back at it again. The fascism is growing strong in the orange buffoon. He said in a recent interview on Univision that if he were to win back the presidency, he would have no problem indicting a Democratic opponent if the polls showed that that opponent was going to beat him in the next election.
They've weaponized the Justice Department. They've weaponized the FBI. And they've come at me with the worst indictments. If they want to follow through on this, yeah, it could certainly happen in reverse. It could certainly happen in reverse. What they've done is they've released the genie out of the box. They have done something that allows the next party. I mean, if I happen to be president and I see somebody who's doing well and beating me very badly, I say, go down and indict them. Mostly that would be, they would be out of business. They'd be out. They'd be out of the election. In my case, they were such pathetic indictments.
Now, really, this is a pretty alarming and dangerous statement for Donald Trump to make, because already in his first presidency, he tried to weaponize the FBI, the Department of Justice. He fired Attorney General Jeff Sessions because Sessions recused himself from the Russia investigation into Donald Trump's and his campaign's ties with Russia. Now, he fired him because he couldn't weaponize him, because he couldn't use him to control that investigation. So what we see is that Donald Trump has learned from his first term and will completely surround himself with loyalists who will carry out this kind of vengeful agenda that he has. So that's really the alarming thing here about this statement coming from Donald Trump. I mean, we know he's lying about, them doing it to me, that, Biden and Obama are behind the investigations into Donald Trump, the 91 felony counts against him, the pathetic counts against him, which is just, pure projection here, because the real pathetic person here is, of course, Donald Trump. I mean, the guy can't even say genie out of a bottle correctly, right? Says the genie out of the box and says that he's going to reverse it on them as if this guy's playing Uno. I mean, talk about pathetic. And, we also go back to the Republicans' criticism of Joe Biden and his old age. Donald Trump is making gaffe after gaffe. He just said that Kim Jong-un is the leader of 1.6 billion people. Mistakenly putting him as the leader of China, saying that Hungary borders Russia, talking about Viktor Orban and mistakenly confusing the country that he leads. So Donald Trump here is really kind of showing that he is in a little bit of decline here as he goes. I will say that, the one kind of saving grace about this threat to our democracy, this fascism that Donald Trump wants to rule, is that he already, in his first term, used extreme rhetoric time and time again, and the American people woke up and said, "Look, we don't want this anymore. We want sensible leaders to lead us and to be our president." And Joe Biden won with a record number of Americans turning out. So, Donald Trump here just continues to be this man-child who doesn't understand politics, doesn't really get why he lost in 2020. And that's because he was pretty extreme and used rhetoric like this and lied like this, and it turned off a lot of voters, and it woke a lot of voters up. And that's why so many people turned out. So, of course, this is incredibly dangerous, and people need to see these clips and understand the danger that Donald Trump poses. But we also have to react to it and turn out to vote, which I think, we've done it before. We'll do it again if we need to. But really here, I mean, this is just kind of the idea that he's going to indict a political opponent. It really doesn't even make any sense, because he would have to be running for president for his third term in order to do that, which is barred from a president is barred from doing that by the 22nd Amendment, which states that a president can only serve 2 terms. So, will Donald Trump listen to the 22nd Amendment if he has the chance to, run for the presidency for a 3rd term, 4th term, 5th term? I mean, he's stating here publicly that he doesn't really care about the Constitution. He'll control the FBI. He'll control the Department of Justice. He'll weaponize it. And so, will he listen to the 22nd Amendment? I doubt it. I think if this guy has the chance to rule as dictator for life, he'll absolutely take it. So, the idea that these Republicans are, Constitution-loving people is just a complete farce. And the idea that Donald Trump is being targeted here because he's a political opponent of Joe Biden's, and not the idea that the guy can't follow the law, which this statement is just clearly indicative of. It's a hard pill to swallow if you're a voter. And I don't think Americans want that anymore. I don't think they want someone who's gonna, talk about, 4 years of carrying out spite and vengeance. So I'm interested to hear what your reactions were to the clip and to Donald Trump saying this. I mean, he said this before, but he's saying it here out in the open. He's lying about the investigations and the indictments that involves him now, and he's just basically trashing our democracy. So the idea that this guy is going to have another shot at the presidency is worrisome. But I think the American people know better, because we've already gotten our fair share of Donald Trump, and we're over this pathetic orange buffoon.